Okay, so today I want to talk about my grandma. Her name is Lene Snow, and she lives in Fair Oaks, California currently. She's 86, and she'll be turning 87 on April 3rd of this year. So in this first picture, you see me and her together. That's at her home in California. And in the second picture, you see her bringing meals to someone. My aunt took a picture of this while she was bringing meals to someone. And my grandma is just one of the nicest people ever. And I loved having this interview with her. And she teaches me a lot about what I want to be when I grow up. And a really interesting thing about my grandma is that she was actually alive during the end of World War II. And this gave me a lot of perspective. And I look at elderly people, I don't really think all the way back to World War II. But my grandma, she actually collected bacon fat during the Second World War to send to her school, I guess. And the people needed the bacon fat for something. She wasn't exactly sure what. But I thought it was very interesting that she was alive during that time. Something that I learned as far as vulnerabilities go is that I think sometimes elderly people can be vulnerable in medical situations. My grandma actually had a cataract surgery that went wrong and something happened. And so the doctor had to redo the surgery and put in her lens again or something. My grandma wasn't really sure. But whatever happened, the doctor started operating on her eye without any anesthetics. And the surgery went poorly again and they had to redo it. And my grandma was very laid back about this, but my mom was absolutely infuriated. Like, both of them were in the room as I was doing the interview, and it was interesting to hear the different perspectives. I think that this experience showed me that elderly people can maybe get taken advantage of in medical situations because they don't really have much of an opinion on things. And something else that was made very relevant in my interview was my grandma's attitude of like, you know what, nothing bothers me. Like her answer to the question of what bothers you as a elderly person was just nothing. Nothing bothers me. I feel confident. I'm just happy with where my life has been. And I think that that's a really profound thing for me to think about is like when I'm old as my grandma and I want to look back on my life and have that same sort of attitude. I want to be able to say with confidence that I've done everything I've wanted to, and I'm happy, and I'm just spending time with my family. And that was the majority of my reflection, was just thinking about my grandma and the wonderful life that she has lived and how happy she is, even during this pandemic. She's had just a positive attitude throughout the whole thing, and I've really enjoyed this interview because I feel like I was able to learn things about my grandma that I wouldn't have learned. And so in this last slide, you see her just, being herself. She's very fun, very happy. And so that's my reflection, is that when I'm older, like my grandmother, I hope to be as positive and as optimistic about the future as she is.